All right, check the mic. Instant reaction time. We weren't going to go live, Sam. We didn't know, but we had to. The Bears have gotten the win 22-16 over the Packers. What an amazing comeback by the Bears, down, 16-6 in the fourth quarter. Kick a field goal just before the 2-minute warning, pretty much at the 2-minute warning. And then an onside kick, a touchdown to tie it, and then a fumble in overtime. And then the game-winning touchdown. Caleb Williams to DJ Moore, 46 yards. What an amazing comeback win for the Bears.
A game they had no business winning is how Kevin Burkhardt described it at the end of that broadcast. Like, crazy comeback. It looked dead and buried. They needed, it was like, let's just kick the field goal and then, we'll have a chance, but we need the onside kick. And, those are a really low percentage play. It's a good onside kick. Savion Williams, the Green Bay rookie, can't quite handle the bounce that popped up just in front of him, and the Bears recover it. And suddenly now we've really got a ball game. Now Caleb Williams, who had been moving the ball pretty well before that, keeps going. They get the touchdown on the board. They decide to kick the point, go to extra time, and then the Packers botch the extra time drive, and now the Bears have a chance to just go and win the game.
When there's a game like this, sometimes you're writing your notes and stuff, and you're trying to keep track of the individual plays that made all of this happen. The fact that the Bears, they had 2 timeouts, they really screwed up the field goal situation before the 2-minute warning. They messed up. They should have. I think they wanted to kick it and still have the 2-minute warning because they were going to be down 7. They were going to still have the 2-minute warning, which they needed as a third timeout just to get the ball back. They almost screwed themselves out of 40 seconds because Santos came out there, kicks the field goal, takes his time. The ball goes through. It becomes the 2-minute warning. They lost that extra timeout. And that was really what pushed them to onside kick. And that ended up being the thing that worked for them, the onside kick. And then Caleb Williams just absolutely dealing down the stretch. Dig route to DJ Moore while they were down 7. It comes down to a 4th and 4, the same situation they had just 2 weeks ago, right? A 4th down in the red zone, down 7. This time, the blitz gets there too, man. I was so impressed with Caleb Williams down the stretch. The blitz got there on that 4th and 4 on the game-tying touchdown, and he gets it out there to Jade Walker. Some people loved him coming out of the draft. He hasn't done much yet for the Bears this year, filling in for the young kids. Unbelievable play by Caleb Williams there, and then the absolute dime to DJ Moore to seal it. What a finish. What a fourth quarter and overtime by Caleb Williams.
It really was. Like, late in the game, he was absolutely phenomenal. He was making plays. He was taking off scrambling. He was looking incredible and doing enough to make that comeback. The chat's saying it was Romeo Doubs, not Savion Williams. I thought it was Savion, but it's definitely a guy with the Guardian cap on. But either way, couldn't handle the onside kick. It was one of those ones. It bounced just in front of him.
We're on the wrong side. There we go. Hey, there we go. We switched. Listen, we didn't know. We didn't think we were going to go live tonight. And I said, we got to do it. We got to instant react to what's going on with the Bears in this situation here. The other, I wanted to shout out your guy too, TJ Edwards, in overtime. 3rd and 1. He's in the open field with Malik Willis and absolutely sticks the tackle to keep it at 4th and 1, and then the next play they fumble the snap. That play stood out to help save the game for the Bears as well.
They run like a quarterback keeper, and they show the replay of the sky cam, the spider cam, and you're like, at the point where he has the ball and he's looking to cut up field, you're like, oh, this is an easy conversion. And instead, TJ Edwards has him lined up, doesn't let him step him, and hits him dead at the tackle, and he loses yardage on it. And then they go for the 4th down, botch the snap, and that's it. Now your drive's done, and now it means the Bears, if they score at all, they win the game. So incredible back-to-back plays. TJ Edwards, again, not an athlete, right? Like, the book on him is like he's a fundamental, really sound player, but the man's not an athlete. Malik Willis, on the other hand, is an athlete, is a really good runner with the football. Could not get by TJ Edwards whatsoever. Huge play by TJ Edwards. And then Green Bay botching the snap on the next play to turn the ball over on downs. And suddenly the Bears just need to put up points. They ended up obviously doing it with resounding, bomb 46 yards or whatever it was. They only needed like 25 yards or whatever just to get in field goal range and have a shot of winning that game. So awful overtime from a Green Bay perspective, and it had started well. Like they were moving the ball.
Yeah.
Malik Willis was out there battling through whatever injury he was dealing with. Obviously, Jordan Love had gotten concussed, left the game earlier from a hit, got absolutely wrecked illegally, by the way, like a roughing the passer penalty. So they're turning to Malik Willis for most of the game. Willis actually made a lot of nice plays, gets hurt on that sack at the end of the game. So in overtime, you're like, I don't even know how he's going to be playing. Delivers a couple of really nice passes, had Jaden Reed on one. They were moving the ball. And then TJ Edwards on that 3rd and 1 really puts them into some trouble. And then the 4th and 1 play, they screw it up. And now whole nice drive just disappears in the smoke, and Chicago gets a chance.
You're right. They dialed up that was it Jaden Reed up the sideline, that big play that got the Packers moving, but the 3rd and 4th and 1 stops by the Bears was the difference. And then as soon as they cross, Monangai has that nice run. DeAndre Swift had a nice run in overtime. They did it again. Ben Johnson 3rd and 3, and they just run it. They just run. Was it Monangai on the 3rd and 3, right? That set up the bomb. As soon as they crossed midfield, they said, we're going for it, man. And Caleb Williams threw an absolute dot to DJ Moore for the game winner.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful pass. And DJ Moore, by the way, so incredible catch. And DJ Moore had been beat up all game as well. Like this was an attritional game. Some guys were getting banged up, hurt, knocked out of the game, or hurt and then playing on. I mean, DJ Moore took a shot really early in the game from Keyshawn Nixon, I think, basically kind of blindsided him from behind on a play that he wasn't expecting any kind of hit to come. That hurt. DJ Moore, you could tell, was dealing with pain throughout a lot of this game, and he's the guy that makes the difficult catch right at the death to score the touchdown. Weird quirk. So the Bears get like 400 total yards, 250 passing. They still ran the ball well. Green Bay, they didn't manage a full Urban, but there's got to be some kind of name for. They got 192 yards, both passing and rushing.
Yeah,
which is weird.
It's a Malik Willis, I think, but I mean that's the end of the game is the big story. By the way, the Packers also they had 8 different players run the ball.
What's the record for that? That's got to be up there.
I mean, back in the 70s, they were missed. It was like Navy football, right? Like everybody got 3 touches. So who knows? But it was different, man. I was like the story of the game. We're not writers, right? Like when you're a sports writer, Sam, you start the game story, you start writing like what would the story was going to be Malik Willis until the collapse by the Packers. The story was going to be Malik Willis, the Packers offense, the run game, their defense, but Willis stepping in once again for an injured Jordan Love and playing well. Like Brady was saying it on the broadcast, don't think he missed a throw. Maybe took a sack that he didn't need to, but not saying it was a perfect game, but it was an excellent game from Malik Willis right up to the, getting tackled on 3rd and 1 and the drop snap, hitting throws, running, getting out of trouble when he needed to as a runner. Malik Willis's development under Matt LaFleur has been outstanding, night and day from what he was with the Titans. I know this is the 2nd straight year that we've seen it, but every single time he's filled in for Jordan Love, and it's been at least 3 times now in the last 2 years. He's done well, 9 of 11 for 121, and he would have been the story, man, if Bears didn't make this miraculous comeback.
He's been really impressive. I mean, it's difficult to sort of overstate the jump he's taken in performance. I mean, he looked absolutely horrific for the Tennessee Titans. You're like, this guy cannot play quarterback at the NFL level. It was kind of surprising when the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur identified him as a guy to bring in the first place. It was even more surprising when they needed to turn to him for a couple of games. And suddenly it wasn't just like, let's run an option offense and hope he can run the ball enough to make it work. He was passing the ball and looking good doing it. And he's genuinely looked like an impressive quarterback for them in relief. I mean, he's been one of the better backups in the NFL for that entire stint in Green Bay. And in this world of, I don't know if he qualifies as a reclamation project, but in the world of sort of second chances and lack of quarterback options, I mean, Malik Willis could win a starting job based off how he's been as a backup in Green Bay.
We've mentioned the name Mac Jones for that, maybe in particular places where they run a similar Shanahan-like system. If you look at Malik Willis, the fact that he was a Liberty quarterback, Auburn, Liberty, inexperienced, a ton of tools, and with so few college quarterbacks that you trust coming out, it's almost like, hey, we just trusted someone else to do the development work for a couple of years at the NFL level. Let's take a shot on Malik Willis. I think he will be discussed as the potential reclamation project. So, like I said, he would have been a big part of the story here had the Packers not blown it. If there are any Packers fans that are watching, I can't imagine there are many that want to discuss this. If you, I said, if you remember this, if you combine what the Seahawks did on Thursday night, their ridiculous comeback, and then the way the Packers didn't do so hot tonight, it was like the 2014 NFC Championship, the comeback where the Seahawks, what did Russ throw, like 4 or 5 interceptions? And this is, I tweeted this out before the final throw was the deep post game winner. That's how Russ made sent the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. It just had some similarities to back then. Anyway, a wild couple games here, Thursday night and then tonight. All that means is that the number 1 seed in the NFC is the Seattle Seahawks, and number 2 is the Chicago Bears. From 7-2, they're back up again at 11-4, and they have a 1-game lead over the Eagles, who are 10-5. 1-game lead over them, and then it's a battle between the Bears and whatever ends up happening. It's pretty much in the East with the Eagles. So Bears might be locked in to the 2 if they don't slip up here in the next couple of weeks. What an amazing comeback for Chicago.
Yeah, 2 tough games to round out the season. They still have San Francisco and Detroit. Those are not going to be easy teams, regardless of what the seeding is. But they've shown that they are a legit team that can go out there and beat anybody. This is an impressive run they're on. The 2 Green Bay games were both close. The first game, they were inches away from the comeback, and instead of throwing the comeback touchdown, Caleb Williams throws the comeback interception to end it. And then this one, they get the onside kick, and they end up completing it the entire way. It's been 2 close games between the 2 sides.
And we had Seattle and the Rams with that ridiculous close game Thursday night. The 2, everybody said this should just be the NFC Championship. Well, we just saw Bears and Packers, the way they've gone at it and how close their 2 games are, how close the Rams and Seahawks are 1 point apart and 1 yard apart in their 2 games. The NFC playoffs are going to be crazy from what we've seen so far.
This is also the week where the charge in our Pick'em League for me to come back and retake the lead comes crashing down to a halt. I'm now 0-2, and in both games, I feel like I was morally on the right side, and then the comeback went against me, and it fell apart in the dying seconds.
You made the right pick until you screwed up the onside kick and everything. Did you at least get the Eagles to cover?
Oh, I hadn't checked that one, actually.
Yeah, you forgot about that one.
I did. I forgot about that game. Nobody cares about that game.
Hopefully that one kept you on track.
I don't think I did. I think I might be 0-3 now. That's a disaster.
Oh, no. Sorry to hear it. Maybe I'll come back and catch you.
It was going too well.
Anything?
No, I'm 0-3. It's a train wreck.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear it. Anyway, we were I was excited. I said, let's fire up the stream. Let's chat. Incredible comeback for the Bears. Hopefully have another great Sunday tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be live right after all the 4 o'clocks heading into Sunday Night Football. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I got bread in the oven. Got to take it out.